Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a geopolitical story that sounds, well, almost unbelievable. Imagine one of the planet's biggest arms exporters suddenly finding itself forced to go shopping for weapons. That is exactly what happened between Russia and India. For decades, the relationship was incredibly simple. Just like you see here. Russia sold weapons to India. Period. But then, a global crisis created this bizarre financial puzzle that completely flipped the whole thing on its head. So you have to be asking, right, how on earth did this river start flowing backward? Let's trace the series of events that led to this absolutely stunning reversal. Okay, so it all kicks off with a massive global crisis. When the world slapped heavy sanctions on Russia, it created a very unique and, let's be honest, very risky opportunity for India. So, as Western sanctions hit Russia, oil prices went through the roof, and everyone was getting really nervous about a worldwide recession. But in all that chaos, India spotted this high-stakes opportunity. They made a calculated bet, buy up huge amounts of discounted Russian crude oil, and they argued it was absolutely vital for their own national interest. And the results of that bet? Well, you can see them right here, and they were staggering. While huge economies like Germany and the UK got hammered by crippling inflation, India actually managed to keep its own economy stable. It was a massive strategic win. But here's the thing. India's brilliant move came with a massive headache. They had the oil, great, but paying for it? That was a huge problem, because Russia had just been kicked out of the world's main international payment system. That system is called SWIFT, and you can basically think of it as the backbone of global finance. It's the highway that all the money travels on. And without it, Russia couldn't easily get paid in US dollars. They were, for all intents and purposes, cut off. So, with that dollar pipeline shut down, India came up with this really clever workaround. They said, hey, we'll take the oil, all $60 billion worth, and we'll pay you for it entirely in our own currency, the Indian rupee. Now, the special tool they used to make this happen was something called a Vostro account, and this is a key piece of the puzzle. It's basically a Russian bank account held inside an Indian bank, and all the money in it is in rupees. And here's exactly how they pulled it off. Russian banks opened these special accounts in India. Then, India just deposited all the rupee payments for the oil directly into them. And just like that, the entire payment system completely bypassed the US dollar and all those Western sanctions. But you know how it is. You solve one problem, and you create a brand new one. And for Russia, this new problem was an absolute doozy they probably didn't see coming. And the rupees started piling up. And I mean, they started piling up fast. Before they knew it, Russia was sitting on an absolute mountain of cash. Billions of dollars worth, all stuck in those Indian accounts. And here's the catch. It's a big one. Unlike the US dollar or the euro, you can't really use the Indian rupee for big international deals. So that massive pile of Russian cash, it was effectively trapped inside India's borders. So what do you do with billions of dollars that you can only spend in one country? Well, you've got to go shopping in that country. And as it just so happened, India was getting really good at making something Russia desperately needed. Yeah, the long war in Ukraine was draining Russia's weapons supplies at an alarming rate. They urgently needed more military hardware. And suddenly, here's a brand new supplier, a supplier who would happily take billions of rupees off their hands. And there it is. The final piece of the puzzle clicks into place. Russia used its mountain of stranded rupees to buy billions of dollars worth of weapons directly from India. A deal that started with oil for rupees had become an oil for weapons trade. The circle was now complete. Now, a story this big, this incredible, doesn't just fly under the radar. And the really fascinating part is what happened next, as different world powers basically scrambled to claim this whole thing was their idea. So first you had the United States. The US ambassador came out and basically framed this as a win for them. He claimed this was their plan all along, to have India buy that discounted Russian oil to keep global prices from exploding. A pretty clever bit of spin after the fact. But India? Oh, they see it very, very differently. They're taking full credit, saying, no, this was our independent policy and our smart maneuvering that not only helped our own economy, but it saved the world from a major inflationary crisis. So what we've just seen is a masterclass in modern geopolitics, where a simple currency problem was used to flip a decades-old trade relationship completely on its head. It proves that in the world we live in today,
financial leverage can be just as powerful as military hardware. Which leaves us with one final big question. In this new world of shifting alliances, who truly controls the narrative of global trade?